Here's my find page, find sales, and it has those nice icons up top. I found the sales, here they are, and then I go to my detail view, and here's some of the detail. So anyway, you can see that that's quite amazing that they provided that to you.
Well,
Yeah.
how is it that you do it without using Server Advanced? How does that
The
work?
PHP publishing engine is part of the regular server. It's not, Advanced basically just does IWP and ODBC, but the PHP publishing engine is part of the regular server.
Is there a difference in limitation on the number of users when you're doing a PHP?
No.
Nothing.
It bears making the distinction too. They made that change in server 10. In server 9, you actually did need advanced to get PHP. Just if anybody's still using 9.
Okay. So, but that's the beauty of it, is it's well whatever.
There's also one other point about the number of connections.
Yeah.
When PHP makes a connection to FileMaker, it's not a persistent connection. It makes a connection, gets the data, and gets out. So you might have 1,000 people in there, and they're just boom, connect, get my data, come out. So
That's good.
it's not. Some web connections are persistent. They stay there until you log out.
Right.
PHP is not like that.
Just touches it.
Which is why it's used a lot.
Right.
Because it gets in, gets the data, and gets out. So it doesn't sit there and take up the bandwidth, waiting for you to do the next thing.
Awesome. Good to know.
Any other questions about this PHP site assistant? I mean, it's really an amazing tool if you haven't checked it out. What you can do.
So is it comparably in ease and scope of features to IWP? Just publish it a different way?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about IWP, you just have to be careful what are server web compatible script steps. But there's a lot of why did that go off?
Probably near as much sleep.
Oh, my
Sleep.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, IWP has a lot of advantages. The only one of the problems is that it costs $2,400 for server advanced. I mean, that's one big obstacle. But if that's not a big issue, then there's a lot of advantages of IWP. But what I've come to, and I'm sort of going to jump ahead, come to understand is what you could do with PHP is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's phenomenal. What I learned, or I had no idea, or just going away with FileMaker and trying to do everything I could in FileMaker, and I'll let you know more what I discovered. But as I go through my presentation, yeah.
What we see here on the iPhone will come across on the Droid as well?
Yeah. It comes across nicely, actually. And when you were out of the room, I was saying that it actually looked better on the Droid. And it looks... and the client...
That's what he really wanted you to say, Alan.
So all 20 people are going to be
client
happy?
emailed me today.
So all 20 people are going to be happy?
Droid customer.
Ouch.
And the client emailed me this morning and said it looked great on the BlackBerry. So I mean, whatever. That's the beauty of a web app. And there's a big discussion going on. I know different threads, whatever. Web apps versus, because this Google thing has really brought up the whole issue of web apps. And the iPad is in bringing it up even more in terms of what you can do. So I keep jumping ahead. Well, we'll get into these issues as I proceed. So why I moved on is the limitation of PHP Site Assistant is one table per site. So you only can do so much. You can do related fields, which is fine, and you can do portals, but you have to basically have one site. So I had to create a site for my overview, a site for my contacts, my products, and my sales, because I wanted to basically duplicate the functionality of my business system on the iPhone for my clients. So, that means you have to have 4 bookmarks on the iPhone, So it wasn't really that conducive. I wanted something that was more integrated. and I wanted the ability to use multiple tables, and I needed much more capability to scripting and calculations. So the next I tried was a product, I'm sure you've heard it, FM Touch by FM Web School, which won the product of the year at DEF CON last year. And this is another excellent product, but it's also limited. It requires syncing. You have to basically convert your database into a DDR XML version, and then you load it onto this FM Touch, and then your databases get created on your iPhone, and then basically there's a lot of limitations with calculations. They don't really do calculations too much. At that time, there was no copying and pasting, so it was very difficult. And they only supported certain calculations. I think they've increased it. They continue to add more calculations. So it has some usefulness. I know a lot of people who like it, who have a need for just one table at a time, and it works fine for them. But for me, it wasn't enough. So then I tried their other product, which is FM Studio, which basically enables you to have multiple tables integrated into one site, and works with Dreamweaver. It's sort of like a plug-in to Dreamweaver. And they have an iPhone template that you can buy. It's only $9. And I got further down the road with that. But then, as I started to really want to do more things, I realized I really needed to learn PHP. And given everything I've got going on, I didn't really have the time to go down that path. So I decided to hire someone who did. So I've been working with this company in India for like 5 years called Mindflare Solutions. And they've fulfilled a lot of my needs for going into areas where I'm not that expert in. They've developed plugins for me. They've developed all sorts of interesting solutions, custom solutions for me, for my clients. And they had a PHP Ajax FileMaker programmer who knew all three, and basically I hired him to do it. So I became more the software architect or the designer. I took on that role, and he was the programmer. So basically, I was designing the functionality, the screens, what they look like, what I wanted to screen, and basically his job was to give me and make it work for me, how I wanted it. I mean, that's probably what we do with all our clients, but now I was, he was working for me to build this, and I was his client. So it works very well. Every day I got a new build, pretty much. I'll give them feedback and send it back and forth, and it only took us a couple months, but eventually we came up with KeyBiz Mobile. And I'm going to show you some of the features. I don't know, hopefully this web, it'll work on the web. I'll give you a live demo in a second. But let me just give you a basic idea. Basically it connects to KeyBiz on FileMaker server, runs on Safari on the iPhone, or runs on the Droid web browser. It basically enables users to manage on their iPhone their contacts, their products, and their sales. So the main features are, first of all, when they log into the system, they get a complete overview of everything happening in their system. Obviously, we have a control in the system in terms of what users see what. But if the owner logs in, they can see the bank balance, the receivables, their sales, open quotes, and you notice that here, this is highlighted. So based on who they're logging in, they're going to click on that. If the salesperson logs in, they're going to see all their open quotes, right from the first screen. So here you see the icons. We have a home, we have a contacts. So instead of having 4 separate files and 4 separate logins, now we just have icons to go back and forth. So we have the contacts, the products, and the sales.
Nice.
So here are the key features. It has a secure login. It has the link, as I just showed you, to find the quotes. It has a quick search function. I'll show you that, where you just type a few letters, just like John, I think Andy was showing. It's like type ahead.